Camila boarded the plane, heart pounding with excitement. Her first solo trip, high above clouds, chasing her freedom and something new. Suddenly, turbulence hit. The plane shook violently. Passengers screamed as overhead lights flickered. "Engine failure!" the pilot shouted. Camila gripped the armrest tightly, adrenaline rushing. Masks dropped from the ceiling. The plane dropped fast. Wind howled. A deafening crash tore through metal. Camila blacked out as chaos swallowed her world. She awoke in the wreckage, blood on her face. Fires burned. Bodies lay still. Pain screamed from her leg, but she was alive. Camila crawled from the wreckage into the trees. No signal. No sound but the forest. She stumbled upon a half-burnt cabin near the crash site. Inside the cabin, she found a dusty box. Opening it, she saw an emergency parachute, old but possibly usable. She climbed a nearby hill, strapped the chute tightly, whispered a prayer, and leapt into the wind. Camila floated down into an endless jungle, heart racing, hope flickering like flame. She landed hard among vines. Birds shrieked overhead. Something growled nearby. She scrambled to hide behind a thick tree. Golden eyes stared from the darkness. A low growl echoed. Camila held her breath, clutching a broken stick. Morning came. Whatever watched her was gone. She found a stream, drank deeply, and moved quickly through the underbrush. She made a spear from a long stick and a sharp stone. It wouldn't stop everything, but it gave her courage to walk. Fresh paw prints circled her camp. Deep, wide, clawed. Something large was following her. Predator. She didn't sleep that night. Every sound made her jump. She held her spear, back to the wall of a tree, eyes wide. She followed a stream deeper into the jungle. Birds scattered above. Something rustled in the bushes. She ran. Camila found a clearing and collapsed. Her hands were shaking. She hadn't eaten in 2 days. A swarm of insects attacked her legs. She ran blindly, slapping, until she reached the stream and dove in. Wet and cold, she spotted distant smoke rising in the distance. Her heart jumped wildly. Maybe someone else had also survived. But the smoke came from a lightning-struck tree nearby. No help appeared. Just ash, silence, and fading warmth. Her hope faded like the dying embers. She cried hard, fists clenched in the muddy ground. But tears solved nothing real. Camila stood up, shook herself off, and kept going forward. A snake suddenly slithered past her muddy boots. She screamed loud, tripped backward, and fell hard. It disappeared, but her heart raced for hours. She found strange purple berries near a tree. Testing them slowly, she ate just a few cautiously. They were bitter, but didn't make her sick. That night, she built a rough bed of leaves and made a thorny wall around it. It wasn't perfect, but it felt like some safety. Rain poured down heavily. Her shelter collapsed fast. Thunder cracked sharply. Wind howled loud. Camila shivered in cold mud, praying the storm would pass. Something moved close near her camp. A shadow crept in. A growl echoed. She froze stiff, clutching her sharp spear. But nothing came forward. At dawn, she found a hidden cave behind thick vines. Dry and deep shelter. Inside were old bones, but she didn't care. She needed safety. She stayed quiet in the cave for 2 silent days, healing her deep wounds and sharpening her spear carefully. She felt stronger again. With flint and dry grass, she created steady fire. The smoke curled upward. The warmth was life-saving. She smiled bright for the first time. A wild boar suddenly attacked her camp. She screamed loud, dodged fast, and stabbed quickly. Fled bleeding. Camila had fought back and finally won. She roasted bitter berries over the small fire and chewed slowly. Jungle cooking wasn't delicious, but it was strong fuel for survival. She drew a rough map in the mud, marking trees, streams, danger zones clearly. She was turning the jungle into something familiar. Birds flew quickly from the east every morning. She followed their wild path, hoping they led somewhere people still lived safely. She discovered a broken hut tangled in green vines. Inside were old tools, dusty wooden shelves, and faded footprints on the ground. She found a rusted knife, tangled rope, and a torn map showing a winding river that led to a village days away. A jaguar silently watched her from afar. Their fierce eyes met once. It vanished into thick brush. She walked faster, heart pounding hard. By sunset, she reached the wide, fast-moving river. It was loud and strong. She needed to cross, but swimming would be deadly dangerous. She built a shaky raft using fallen jungle logs and strong vines. It floated barely. She stepped on and pushed into the current. Rain came again hard. Wind rocked the weak raft. Camila held on tight, soaked and shaking. As lightning split the stormy sky, the raft hit sharp rocks. She flew into rough water, kicking hard, dragging herself to the muddy shore, coughing and bruised badly. Camila lay quiet in the mud, exhausted and cold. Every aching muscle screamed, but she had survived again, barely. The jungle changed slowly. More birds sang. Brighter plants bloomed. Signs of people appeared. She followed a trail of carvings on trees. She saw smoke again, this time rising slowly from a chimney. Her heart pounded hard. Could it finally be real? She approached carefully and slowly. A wooden house stood hidden behind thick trees. A small garden grew beside it. An old woman stepped out, eyes wide with surprise. Camila collapsed into her arms, sobbing loudly. She had made it. Inside there was warmth, real food, clean water, and fresh bandages. The woman spoke little English, but her kindness said everything. Camila slept deeply for 2 full days straight, wrapped in soft blankets, safe for the first time in many weeks. She helped the woman tend the small garden daily. Her body healed slowly. Her mind still replayed screams and terrible storms. The woman had a working radio, crackled often but still worked. They tried for hours to send out a strong signal. Weeks passed by. One quiet morning, the radio crackled louder than usual. A voice responded. Help was finally on its way. A rescue team arrived 3 long days later by helicopter. Camila wept openly as she boarded. Relieved, grateful, and forever changed. Doctors checked her wounds. News reporters asked endless questions. But she said little. Words couldn't explain the unforgiving jungle. Back home, her apartment felt strangely empty. Too clean. Too silent. She returned to the jungle months later, not as a victim anymore, but as a volunteer helping others learn real survival. Camila taught eager others to build fires, filter water safely, and read rugged terrain. She smiled more, slept much better. She returned warmly to the old woman's hut with thoughtful gifts. The woman cried softly. They sat quietly, holding hands. The forest whispered gently again. But now it felt like a song, not a threat. Camila had made peace with it. She wrote her survival story down, not to brag or boast, but to remember, to honor those who didn't survive the jungle. Camila wasn't the same girl who had boarded that doomed plane. She was stronger, quieter, and full of steady fire.